Hi and welcome to Easy Fishing on a sort of a wet, miserable day. Now, I don't have the luxury of a tackle shed or a garage to do videos in, so today I thought I'd shoot one in my little kitchen. And subject today is 2 centrepin reels. This one here, which you've seen me use on the canal and float fishing for decent sized carp, and you've seen me use it once on the river catching bream in the twilight. Now, this was a very cheap pin. It's not even got a brand on it, but I can tell you it's a version of a reel that's marketed by several fishing tackle companies and shops. Basically it was 35 quid or thereabouts. It's got quite a wide drum by Centrepin standards. It's 4 inches in diameter, has an overly loud check or ratchet, but off that it runs as sweetly as you could want. Just the merest tap of the, will set your spool rotating. But I was looking through eBay and I found this centrepin. Now, this centrepin is a little bit different. This is made or marketed by NGT, so that should tell you a lot. First of all, it's $37.95, I think. It's 4 1/4 inches in diameter. You can see the difference looking at the tooth, and has a much narrower drum. Makes it great for trotting. So it also incidentally has a QD spool, not QD as in clip, but it's just a case of undoing this centre screw like this and the spool comes off. Nice and simple and light. Just put the screw back in there. Runs on twin ball races, as does the other reel. Again, very free running. Give it a bat and it will spin for ages, but it's good enough for me and good enough for most people. Again, has the same old problem, a horrible loud ratchet. One day I'll take a file to it or something to try and rectify it. So I thought at $37.95 or whatever the exact coinage is, or was, I couldn't really go wrong with this. And I'm quite an old school fisherman. I'm an old guy compared to youngsters would say I'm ancient. I learnt to fish with centrepin reels. I think the first one I had was an ancient wooden one. Weighed a ton, didn't spin freely, but I caught fish on it. And while this is no all-cox match aerial or anything of that type, it nevertheless for the money seems to be a very sound buy. Certainly this smaller one has. And that doesn't even have a QD spool, it's a screwdriver job. So this I would say is a bit better design. It's well ventilated, the back's ventilated to keep the weight down. This one has, apart from a bit here, is a solid back. Spins freely enough for me. Nice, is it screwed or riveted? Riveted reel seat, doesn't look like it's going to come loose. Yes, I think for the money should do a good sound job. And what I've decided to do is to keep this one, the newer one, for finer lines. So I'll probably be using 3 or 4 pound, probably Drenham floatfish, maybe supplex, but a floating line certainly, 3 or 4 pounds. And on this one I'll stick to much heavier lines, 6 pounds I would think. So I can use it for heavier, noisy actually. So I can use it for heavier work because I have plans, if we ever get out fishing that is, to go and use the smaller one with heavier line for barbel, and this one for just general trotting, roach, silverfish, chub, general silverfish fishing. And I might even try it out close range on still waters and rivers, because I like the simplicity of a pin, and it's a skill that's died out, and they're not hard to use. You know, you either mount it up for right hand wind or left hand wind. Now, although the retrieve on a centrepin is comparatively slow because it's a direct ratio, there's no gears involved, it's quite slow. But without a fish on, one bat of the fingers makes this spin quicker than you can wind a fixed ball in. So I just like the simplicity, I like the cost, and I like the thought of trotting a stick float or a loafer, something down a small river. And yes, I do have a couple of small rivers in mind. Some of them don't have much flow, others have a bit more, and when there's a bit more flow, then at close range a centrepin is nice to use. Plus the fact there's no slipping clutch. Should you hook a big fish, it's all down to your skill. I normally just use my thumb on the spool, so should a fish tear off, I can do it, but you can do it with the palm of your hand, however you feel inclined to play your fish, and it is a skill worth having. Also, you don't have any of this pumping business, so when you get a fish on, you can just get hold of the reel and wind it slowly when it will let you, and back wind, you know, just with some thumb pressure or whatever to slow it down as a brake. It's a very direct way of fighting fish. Not everybody's cup of tea, but I like river fishing. I like trotting a float. Regrettably, I don't get to do enough of it because I don't live near to somewhere that's a bit faster flowing, and I would certainly, if I was on the Trent, I'd be having a 14-15 foot float rod with this running a stick float or similar down the edge. So yes, like I say, quality's reasonable for the price. Can't expect Rolls-Royce engineering for 37 quid. Almost undoubtedly made in the Far East, but who really cares? And at this price, later on in the year I might get another one, so I can have one with, say, I don't know, £2 line or 2.5, and the other spool with 4 if I think I'm going to. I don't know yet, but at that price, can't complain. So there we have 2 cheap centrepins, the NGT and the other unnamed version, which I think originally was sold. This one was sold by a tackle shop called Used Tackle, and it was called a Marco Cortese. Just a name to make it sound good, but nice centrepin, very nice. Hasn't given me any trouble at all, and I enjoy using it. And as you've seen, it's quite capable of catching big fish, giving you some fun. So that's something for you to think about on a rainy day. As to the lockdown, well, my thoughts are that it's going to start easing, and I definitely, unless we have another peak rate of infections will be looking to go out at the start of the season, maybe even before it on the canals. My club ticket's still valid. Don't forget your road licences, by the way. I've got to renew mine. But yes, I'm hopeful that by the end of May the lockdown restrictions will have eased enough for us to be able to go fishing again. And if you're a riverman, well, you're stuck till June the 16th like me. But there are other venues available. There's still waters in various places. I know of a park lake, couple of park lakes actually that can be fished on a day ticket, couple of free small ponds. There's always somewhere to go fishing. So all I can say is I hope everybody's staying well, and keep looking after yourselves, paying sensible precautions obviously. And if you like this video, please give us a like and a thumbs up, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. So until then, tight lines.